How to stay calm in political and social turmoil. Stoic lessons. The world feels like it's on fire. Nations divided, families split apart over beliefs, social media filled with outrage. Everywhere you look, chaos, conflict, noise. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, easy to lose your balance, easy to be consumed by anger, fear, or despair. But the Stoics, those philosophers of resilience, faced turmoil just as turbulent as ours. Wars, tyrants, revolutions, betrayals. And yet, they found a way to remain calm, to live with dignity and purpose in a world gone mad. Today, we'll uncover their timeless lessons so that you too can stay calm in political and social turmoil. The illusion of control. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, ruled Rome during plague, war, and political conspiracy. He could have been paralyzed by fear or rage, yet he wrote in his private journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The first Stoic lesson is simple, but profound. Most of what happens in politics and society is beyond your control. You can't dictate how governments act. You can't stop people from spreading lies. You can't prevent corruption or greed from existing. But you can control your response. The Stoics divided life into two categories: what depends on us and what does not. To mistake one for the other is to invite misery. If you give your peace of mind to elections, to leaders, to debates, to the endless arguments online, you are surrendering your inner freedom. The Stoic instead asks, "What can I do here and now with what is mine?" That is where calm begins. The noise of the crowd. We live in an age of outrage. Every headline screams for attention. Every feed is designed to trigger emotion, fear, anger, indignation. These are the currencies of modern discourse. Epictetus, long before social media, warned of the same danger. When we are invited to speak about some topic, we must be careful not to slide into vulgarity or useless chatter. The Stoics understood crowds are often irrational, and the louder the crowd, the easier it is to be swept away by it. When you drown yourself in the noise, arguments, debates, endless breaking news, you lose clarity. You begin to think not for yourself, but as an echo of the mob. The Stoic response is not to withdraw entirely, but to stand firm like a rock in the waves, to choose silence when noise dominates, to speak only when words are necessary and rooted in truth. In a world that profits from your outrage, calmness itself becomes an act of rebellion. Justice without anger. Many ask, if the Stoics teach us to remain calm, does that mean we should be indifferent to injustice? Should we look away when society burns? No, the Stoics valued justice above all. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul of man is meant to live for others, to act with fairness. But here is their difference. Justice must be pursued without hatred. Seneca reminds us, anger, if not restrained, is more harmful than the injury that provokes it. If you act from rage, you may fight injustice with injustice. If you act from bitterness, you may poison the very cause you hope to serve. The Stoic way is to act with courage, wisdom, and discipline, without letting turmoil infect your inner life. To work for justice, but not be consumed by vengeance. Imagine a doctor treating a patient. The disease may be ugly, violent, destructive. But if the doctor becomes disgusted or enraged, can he heal? So too with society. Calmness makes you more effective, not less. The perspective of time. Social turmoil feels eternal when you are in the middle of it. Every conflict feels like the end of the world. But Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, this has all happened before and will happen again. Empires rise and fall. Political movements surge and fade. Leaders are praised, then cursed, then forgotten. What seems monumental today will one day be a footnote. This perspective does not mean apathy. It means proportion. Why lose your mind over what history will soon erase? Why give decades of peace away to moments of chaos? The Stoics held on to the eternal view that beyond politics, beyond society, lies the higher work of the soul, to live with virtue regardless of circumstance. When the world shakes, widen your vision. Remember the brevity of human life and the futility of outrage. Training the mind. Stoic calm is not an accident, it is a discipline. Marcus Aurelius began each day with mental preparation, reminding himself that he would meet liars, selfish people, and the unjust. Epictetus urged his students to rehearse adversity in their minds so they would not be surprised by turmoil. Today, we too must train. Limit your consumption of news. Question whether your anger is truly yours or borrowed from someone else's agenda. Practice the discipline of stepping back, breathing, and asking, does this lie within my control? Calmness is a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. The inner citadel. The Stoics spoke often of the inner citadel, a fortress within, untouchable by the chaos of the world. Marcus Aurelius wrote, men seek retreats for themselves, in the country, by the sea, in the mountains, but it is in your power to retreat into yourself at any hour. This was not an escape, but a return to strength. When politics grow bitter, when society feels fractured, when the world spins out of control, your refuge is not silence outside, but silence within. Close your eyes. Step into the citadel of your reason, your values, your soul. There, no tyrant can touch you. No mob can shake you. That is the ultimate Stoic calm. Not denial of the world, but mastery of the self. And finally, remember, calm is not only for you, it is for others. When you refuse to be swept into outrage, you become a model of strength. When you speak with measured clarity, you cut through noise. When you live with calm courage, you remind others that peace is possible. Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. In times of turmoil, people do not need more arguments. They need examples. They need men and women who remain steady while the world trembles. Your calm may inspire more change than your anger ever could. The storms of politics and society will never end. There will always be conflict. There will always be division. There will always be noise. But within you, there is a place beyond reach of all of it. A place of reason. A place of virtue. A place of calm. That is where the Stoics lived, and that is where you too can live. Unmoved by chaos, unbroken by turmoil, free in spirit, no matter the world around you. So when the headlines scream, when the mob shouts, when injustice rises, and peace feels lost, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. Be like the rock against which the waves break, yet it stands firm, and the raging of the sea falls still around it. If you found wisdom in this message, remember, Stoicism isn't just something to think about, it's something to practice every day. If this video gave you clarity, share it with someone who needs calm in a chaotic world. And if you'd like to keep walking this path of inner strength and freedom, subscribe and join me here. We explore the timeless lessons of Stoicism every week. Until next time, hold steady, live with virtue, and never let the noise of the world drown out the peace within you.